Hey, what's going on, guys? Bob Mentality here with a Bitcoin chart analysis for you. And today is September 9th of 2018. And just really quick, I want to sit here and talk with you guys regarding some of my thoughts on the overall Bitcoin daily trend, where we could be heading in that direction, if some things line up the way I think they will, and possibly what things could happen to prevent that. The bear case scenario, the dreaded daily lower high that we're all looking out for. I kind of show you what some things are lining up, some things to look out for, and pretty much what I'm looking at. We just saw the breakout here over 7,130, which is fantastic. We saw that typical ABCD setup there where we had the high range set, low the range set, consolidation for the breakout there near the high. Now right now we're topping here at the 7,200, which wasn't unexpected. We've been talking about those resistance levels for a while now in my chat room, but pretty much where are we going to go from here? What's anticipated, what could happen, what's likely, and also I want to talk about the Bitcoin shorts chart and get a little bit into that. But the first thing I want to point out to you is something I noticed here on the daily chart was if you jump over here to the Bitcoin daily, and we go and we look to measure the previous highs, right? So I'm going to start over here with the high we set when we topped out here into 11,500, that area, that 12,000 area right here. And if we just draw the Fibonacci retracement, from the high of that move all the way down to the bottom of the downtrend right there, right? From the high to the downtrend. What you're going to see is that when we saw a bounce off the 6,500 and we approached back to 10,000, where we had the double top there at 6,800, or excuse me, 9,800 essentially. What you're going to see is we topped out there the 61.8 fib level, right? So we had traced there about 38% off the highs, and that's where we topped out. And we actually double topped that level before pulling back. Now, what I found here is if you actually move that Fibonacci level and chart out the very next downtrend from that point, move this up a little bit here, what you're going to see, I'll go all the way down here to the low of the downtrend and the high there, you're going to see when we drag this over that we topped out again at that 61.8 level, the 8,300. So we had a much longer consolidation here, essentially below the previous low, right? Where we all thought Bitcoin was doomed down here, and we did make that recovery, which was fantastic, excuse me. It was short-lived. We became very extended over the RSI levels, and then we eventually rejected that 8,300, you could say 8,500 for the whole $half mark. We rejected that point, and we saw a downtrend back to the lows, okay? So what we had here was we had a lower high based off the 20,000 Bitcoin test. We lower high here at the 11,005, a lower high here at essentially 10,000, and again a lower high here at 8,300. Both the tests we had here in May and the one we had here in July both topped out at roughly a 38% retracement from the previous high. So almost to the dot, you can see that hit the 61.8. So now the question is, okay, well, what happens on this next chart? Of course, anything under 8,374 roughly would be a lower high on the daily, which would mean we're still in this lower high trend. So now we have a very clear line in the sand as what it would take to break that, right, and what to look out for. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the same Fibonacci retracement here, and I'm going to draw that just here on this next downtrend. So you'll see, in order for us to, let's say, break out of the lower high 61.8 resistance level sort of downtrend we've been seeing, we'd have to break above 7,520. And we would need to remain above that level, or at least at a lower high, somewhere between the 61.8 and the 78.6. Okay, so anywhere between 70, let's say 600 and 7,900, we would need to make a break between those levels in order to break out of that trend. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are charting this in different ways, but I'm not the only trader who's seen this. So I think a lot of people are going to be looking to sell near that, of course, 7,500 whole $half mark, but also because of the fact that it's in a pattern of Fibonacci retracements, back from May. So this is something to definitely keep an eye out for. We did a great job getting above the 38.2 here. We're at the 50% level now. Hopefully, we're able to break through this, but any lower high we set underneath the 61.8, that's a bearish sign, guys. We weren't able to make it nearly as far as the last high, and the lows are staying in the same place. So it's essentially like what you could call it, a bear flag. You could say it's a descending wedge. Any of those different things. But essentially, what it is support staying in the same area, and the bulls we're not able to make it as high every single time. So that's one of my main concerns. Keep an eye on that 61.8. Hopefully, we're able to get through that. But I'm going to show my reasons as to why I don't think we will. First of all, just keep in mind we're sitting here at 60 on the daily chart. Now, we did get to highs of 78 previously, but we're at 68 so far. And we could be a lot further along. We had a nice strong trend, but I think we're running out of steam. I'm going to show you why. So let me jump over here to the Bitfinex short and long chart. So I'm going to jump to the longs real quick. And so on this chart, you know, essentially what I want you to focus on, and what I've been focusing on, is the fact that if we go to the hourly here, you'll see the good news is that we have been making lower highs all the way up here. So we've been steadily, I guess you could say, in the bigger picture, increasing in longs. However, it's been very inconsistent. There's been spurts of, you know, longs buying, they've been selling off, you know, quick spurts where they'll buy again and it'll retrace, give it back. You know, on this most recent push, I was referring to the one right here. You know, we had that push to test at 7,100 previously. All the longs bought, we didn't break, everybody dumped, and we gave back even more. And right now, even the longs are dumping. So this pop we had over the 7,100, or excuse me, so yeah, 7,130 to 7,150 resistance levels on Bitcoin that we were watching on the wedge that we just broke out of. The longs now are dumping that. Okay, so here's what I want to show you. So yes, we've had a steady increase of longs, but it hasn't been anything significant. Compared to the distance we traveled from the low here at, you know, 24,800 all the way up here to 27,000, we haven't changed much. Nothing compared to how far we've retraced here, you know, since prior to August there in July. Okay, so longs haven't increased much. You could look at it on the bigger term and say we've been decreasing, saying that we're making lower highs, you know, which we are, you know, lower high here, lower high, lower high. Now if we go over to the Bitfinex shorts, okay, and we jump to the hourly, look at the shorts, guys. So each one of these candles, of course, represents an hour. But look at the fact that, you know, we've been getting steeper and steeper and steeper, and the shorts have essentially been supporting the market. This is what's been causing Bitcoin to push to the new highs and the new levels that it's been working towards, you know, 6,500, 7,000, now we're on 7,100. The only reason that has occurred, guys, is because of these shorts right here. That's the only reason. If we didn't have shorts consistently covering their position size every day, pushing the price of Bitcoin up, we wouldn't have been able to make it this far. Not based on that long chart, that, you know, really choppy long chart. If anything, we'd be consolidating sideways or slightly upwards, but we wouldn't be making these huge parabolic moves that we've been seeing on the, you know, intraday time frames. So if you just take a look at this, what am I trying to say here? So we have the lower high approaching on Bitcoin. You know, the possible lower high under 7,500, right? The possible lower high we could still break it, but it's something to keep an eye out on. If we go to the daily here on the shorts, we're almost at full extension. So essentially what I'm trying to say is, you know, off the highs, let's see, right now of this uptrend of shorts, we're already sitting here on the 23.6. So this is the this is the period where if we were looking to make a long or to make a bet on are the shorts going to continue, now we're looking the other way. Instead of looking down like shorts are going to keep covering, keep heading down, now we're looking back the other direction. If you look back here on this move, look at the range between the high of the previous short squeeze and the low. That's it. We're there right now. You know, if I were to chart a line of how many shorts had to cover, we're actually past that point, right? From this previous low. So you can tell that we're reaching full extension. I'm not going to say overextended on the shorts because, yeah, technically the shorts could reach, you know, all-time lows or at least recent lows. We still got a while to go before we get back to the 7,000 or 17,400 level, but we are very extended. The majority of the quote-unquote short squeeze is over, right? Or at least it should be based on what we're looking at right here, based on the amount of people that increased here while Bitcoin was downtrending. So it should theoretically be over or near it, right? We've gone through a lot, and we've only reached the 7,700. We're not even near the you know 8,300 previously for that lower high. So my worry is that we're going to run out of steam. The shorts are going to stop covering, and what happens when they flip sides and the shorts start to reload? And we make a higher low here and head back towards highs, right? What happens when the shorts start to reload their shares, and Bitcoin's only sitting there at 7,000? Last time the shorts went on a you know, hammer spree, they dropped us from 8,400 all the way down to, you know, 6,000, right? So what happens when we're sitting here at the, you know, at the 50% here on the fib, the 7,000 level, and they start hammering again, and we see that same sort of potential? It's likely we break the lows. So that's just some of the thoughts that, you know, I have here on Bitcoin. I'm keeping an eye on all these things between the, you know, parabolics. You know, the one thing I'll say is the parabolics, you know, on the shorter term time frames has been decreasing in size, and I'll show you that real quick before I end the video here, because it's one of the notes I took down. Essentially, you know, if you look back here, when we got this first initial short squeeze, that was huge. We had the break over that 6,500. We did see a little bit of a squeeze right here, that, you know, slow and grinding, but not nearly as quick and parabolic. That was just more, you know, the shorts have been slowly squeezing out during this period, right? And then over here, we did have a really quick parabolic, but it's definitely smaller than the previous parabolic here on the 22nd, okay? And the one we have right now, unless we get some continuation, you know, and this is on another consolidation breakout, it's all the same thing. You know, you have the high of the range, grind up parabolic, high of the range here at 6.7, you know, we ground up the price parabolic, and same thing right here. But we're getting smaller parabolics. So is momentum fading? Are we not moving as quickly now? These are some of the signs I look out for when I'm watching the trend. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think of what I've been talking about here in this video. That's pretty much it. I didn't want to make it too long for you guys. I just want to go ahead and get this out. You know, as we see this parabolic, you know, of course, I hope Bitcoin can go as high as it possibly can, but I always analyze and prepare, take all the data and look for the different case scenarios. So that's all I have, guys. If you have any questions, you know, reach out to me, comment in the comment section. So you can send a tweet out, you can shoot me an email, whatever you want to do. If you're interested in joining my chat room, just shoot me a message. We can talk about that. I'll have information and links to my Patreon down below, where I have a daily newsletter and also a mentorship program if you're interested in that. So, all right, guys, again, my name is Bot Mentality. Remember to continue to focus on controlling your emotions and learning to trade like a machine. I'm out of here, guys. Deuces.